One of the questions I'm asked in my practice almost on a daily basis is, how do I know if my parent, my mother, my father, my guardian, is a sociopath or a psychopath, right? So there's a lot of people who are confused between the two. They can't seem to understand, what the difference is between the two. Is a sociopath worse than a psychopath? Is a psychopath worse than a sociopath? And sometimes those characteristics of both disorders, or personality disorders, I should say, actually overlap. So that makes things a whole lot more complicated than you could imagine. In today's video, I want to highlight something that I think a lot of you have been asking for, but in different ways, which is, how do I understand my parent who is a psychopath? So I've done many videos on this channel. I'm going to put them around me right here so you can see them. That's about sociopathy and psychopaths. I want to highlight some of the characteristics that are really callous and cold. And it's really hard to accept when your parent is like that. Let me briefly introduce myself in case you are new. My name is Tamara, and I'm an internationally and board certified trauma therapist. I'm also licensed in mental health, and I specialize in treating children, teens, and families, as well as adults who are dealing with trauma. Let's jump in. So if I asked you what a psychopath is, would you be able to give me some characteristics, some adjectives, some descriptors? A lot of people are very confused about the differences between a sociopath and a psychopath. And, I really don't blame them. It's a little bit complicated. And sometimes the characteristics overlap, which makes things a whole lot more complicated than you could imagine. Even as a psychotherapist with 14 years of experience, having worked in a variety of capacities, having worked under really awesome professionals and leaders in the field, I still get confused as to what's a psychopath, what's a sociopath. And sometimes when it's sitting right in front of me in my own office or right on my computer screen for teletherapy, I still can't detect it. It takes a few sessions, a few different incidents, some clinical observation, some actual paper assessments, and sometimes some peer support from my colleagues to really understand what I'm looking at. I would like to profess that I'm a professional that can identify a psychopath, but it really does take a keen eye. So I'm going to highlight for you what a psychopathic parent actually looks like. Now, one of the characteristics that these particular parents have, psychopathic parents, is that they tend to be very unemotional, very callous, and very depraved of morality. Let me explain. So if you have a psychopathic mother, for example, she's probably not going to be able to communicate with you in a way that a mother communicates with a child. The nurturing, the mirroring of body language and emotion, the internal natural desire to go to you when you are hurt, when you are confused, when you are needy, when you are looking for that parental figure to support you. She's not going to come towards you with a loving heart, a loving mind, right? They don't have that ability to connect. If we delve into the mind and into the brain, as we've been doing on this channel lately, there's some research studies that suggest there's a lot going on with the amygdala, which is the emotional centers of the brain, and the limbic system, which is the emotional centers of the brain. Here's a picture right here on the screen of the limbic system. It really does wrap around that amygdala, which is what I talk a lot about on this channel. And these are the emotional centers of the brain. And in psychopaths, there's some inactivity there. There's not a lot of activity there, which shows that it's a very active part of the brain. So it isn't shocking that these particular mothers, fathers, caregivers are cold, unemotional, and callous. Now, a callous, unemotional father is likely to do some very criminal things with his son or his daughter. This may be the kind of father that, has sexually molested his child, pimps his child, for lack of a clinical term, prostitutes his daughter, maybe utilizes the daughter as a tool to bring drugs to him, or money or fame. This particular father may also do a lot of drug deals, may kill someone, may murder someone, set up a murder, or accompany. They may also be a sex offender as well. Now, let me highlight that not all psychopathic parents go down this criminal road. There are some psychopathic parents who tend to be very, very socially astute. They tend to be very socially engaged. So they may even be politicians, vice presidents, presidents. They may also be directors of facilities, judges, attorneys, right? So, doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, psychotherapists, they don't all go down that criminal road. And I'm sure you're well aware of that, but I want to highlight that in this video so that I don't give the impression that they're all criminal, because sometimes they're not. Psychopaths are different from sociopaths in that they tend to be a little less clumsy. Sociopaths tend to be clumsy in a lot of the things that they do, whereas psychopaths tend to be a little bit more intentional and thoughtful, and they tend to schedule things and really direct and maneuver things in a way that's going to benefit them. And in a lot of ways, they have, for lack of a clinical term, a criminal thinking mind. They're always a million steps ahead of the next person. They always imagine what's likely to be said or what's likely to happen way ahead of maybe somebody who's just normal and natural and caring, and they're getting on a bus trying to get to work. A psychopath always has a million miles that he needs to go in order to feel competent and in control. So in other words, he's always a million steps ahead of the next human being. They are always thinking of things that maybe normal, typical society wouldn't think of. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to do what they feel that they need to do. And that includes murder. That includes sexual assault or rape. That includes being, a child predator, right? Hiding from the law and researching all the ways to hide from the law. That's a psychopath. Now, there's a few characteristics that I also want to highlight that you are likely to see in a parent who's a psychopath. The first thing that you're likely to see is a need for stimulation. So they love guns, weapons. They may kill and harm animals. Now, there are deer hunters. We get that. There's people who fish, right? You have to kill those. Deers, you kill deers, right? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking, I literally get a stimulating rise and some kind of energy from killing. I have to do it. That's a psychopath, okay? Ted Bundy, for example. That's what we're looking at. I'm going to post maybe an interview in the description box below of Ted Bundy. You can take a look at that interview. It'll show you how calm, cool, and collected he is, arrogant, right, self-assured. He really did not care about the interviewer. He had all of his trains lined up, so he thought, So they tend to be very different than sociopaths in that way. Again, they're not clumsy. They tend to be really self-controlled, in control. So they get a stimulation or a stimulating type of an experience from killing, from bypassing the rules of society, for doing things to people that you wouldn't ordinarily expect them to do. They do get a rise out of that. Psychopaths are likely to poison you, right? That's an example. They'll go past that boundary. Most of us will feel uncomfortable opening up a drug and putting some in somebody's drink. A sociopath may do it as well, but a psychopath really could care less. A parent like this may also do something like kind of keep you confused about important details that you need to know to understand things in your world and your family. They may tell very harmful, detrimental, life-altering lies. They like the topic of death, and they may get some kind of rise out of that topic as well. It wouldn't shock me if some work in funeral homes. It really would not, Psychopaths who are parents may also laugh at things that are not very funny, that are pretty gruesome and gruely, that are really far beyond the boundaries of society. They may think there are things that are funny when normal functioning human beings would be very disturbed. The next thing that you're likely to see is a propensity towards or for manipulation. What I mean by that is that they are living, breathing human beings who have to manipulate. There is never anything that is clear cut with them. Honest, authentic, they're always lying. They're always hiding. They're always stealing, manipulating, cheating, whatever they need to do, right? You don't matter. They don't have empathy. Remember, they are unemotional. They are callous. So they engage in pathological lying. They lie about everything, even if there's no benefit to it. That's what a pathological liar is. There's no immediate benefit, but they're going to lie because that's what they feel that they need to do. There may also be stalking with psychopaths as well. Go ahead and check this video out right up here where I did a video maybe a year or two ago about psychopathic stalkers and psychotic stalkers as well. And I talk a lot about what they do when they stalk you. I also have a full stalking series on my channel. I'm going to try to pull those videos out and put them in the description box for you. A psychopath will likely stalk. They love pushing the boundary. This is just who they are. They can also be very calculating. They can also have this deep desire to harm and to bypass the boundaries of another human being. So we might say something like really gruesome sexual behavior. Some fetishes may be in there as well with these particular parents. They may also molest and sexually violate their children in ways that you wouldn't believe. I once had a colleague who had a client who tied his daughter up in the basement and would commit sexual acts because he was that much of a psychopath, and it didn't bother him, and he would send her to school every day like nothing ever happened. When my coworker had the police go into the home, you would not believe what was found in that basement, and it was just disturbing for me to hear, much less for the people that had to go in the basement and see it. So that's a psychopath. A lot of times, and this may be a general discriminatory statement I'm going to make, but a lot of times psychopaths know where to live. And a lot of times they live in very hidden areas. They either live in inner city, broken down, dilapidated areas where it's really crowded and, they're into drugs and prostitution and pimping and all that kind of stuff. Or they live way out in the rural areas where there's no civilization, houses are many miles away, and there's not a lot of legal protection. There's not a lot of law, enforcement out there. It's just, mainly the deers and the animals run wild, and you might find a bobcat out there and some other things, I remember traveling across 6 states one year with my mom. I had different speaking engagements across the nation, and we went through 6 states together. And I remember driving down these dark roads. We got lost, and we drove down these dark roads. It was a lot of like cabins, and we saw a bobcat, we saw deers, we saw some dead animals on the road. I mean, it was something. My mom was like, we're not gonna live. But I remember looking at this cabin that we were parked near. We were waiting on the police to come and get us because we literally got lost. Our GPS dropped. And so we couldn't find a way out of this place. This is like where we were, guys, okay? And we're waiting on the police, and I look over out of my passenger side of the window, and I'm like, is that a cabin? And we're looking at this cabin. On the outside of the cabin, okay, is literally a dead deer head, and some tools, and like tools that we weren't used to seeing. And we're like, this is not okay. And so these particular parents might have some really gruesome kind of things in their home. And actually at this cabin, we saw like a play set in the backyard, in the back of the cabin. It was like kids live there. Although when you look at the front of the cabin, there's like all these tools and a deer head. Like, so it was very weird, gruesome, and the whole area was like dark. There was no street lights, and the only lights that we had was the headlights of our car and our cell phones, So I'm sure I've painted enough picture for you that this was pretty disturbing. These are the kind of areas that you're likely to venture into, if you have a parent like this, okay? I'm gonna also say grandiosity, a shallow affect, poor behavior regulation and control. I mean, all I can say is that Ted Bundy met all of that. Grandiosity, shallow affect, poor behavior control. He just didn't have it. And so you're likely to see this in a parent as well. If you have a father who's like this, there's probably some domestic violence, probably some rape. within the family. Sometimes incest is also found in these particular families. And, you know, if I come away from that gruesome side of psychopathic parents, if we go to the more socially acceptable psychopath as a parent, you know, it's probably going to be a lot of domination and control, a lot of manipulation, a lot of fear tactics, a lot of obsession. There may be sexual abuse that the mother is well aware of in the home, or that the father is well aware of in the home, but they're not going to stop it. There may be parents who encourage their children to be psychopaths, to research things on the internet, how to murder, how to kill, how to deceive. I had a family one time, I'm going to say about maybe 9 years ago, and they came in for a consultation. Thankfully, they weren't clients, but they came in for a consultation. And the mother and father were both teaching their kids to research things online, such as how to kill, how to deceive, how to lie, how to manipulate. It was horrible. So these are the kind of parents that you are likely to experience. These are the kind of characteristics that you are likely to experience in parents like this. And there's so much more that I could talk about in this video, but for the purposes of keeping it short and sweet, we're going to pause it here. Go ahead and check this video out that I did a couple months ago, or weeks ago, I should say, on sociopathic parents. You're going to get a little bit more information in that video. Thank you so much for being with me today, guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around with us. Hit that notification bell as well so that you can get notifications every time I post a video. Let me know in the comment section below what you want to see next. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.